Hello everyone and welcome to Sunburned. Albino ranks every house in Three Houses from worst to best. Can you guess how many houses are in Three Houses? That's right, 4. But given that the Ashen Wolves are a mini house, more of an apartment if you will, or a flat if you're one of those people, I'm going to talk about them separately without including them in the actual ranking since they'd obviously be last in terms of content and were just meant to add to the other houses. Spoilers of every kind imaginable ahead, this ranking will take into account overall narrative, quality of characters, more from a personality standpoint than a Battlefield one, but that'll come up too, and general fun and convenience of each run. Also, side note, I'm currently on my 11th playthrough of this game, so let's say I've got more experience than most. Starting with the separate Ashen Wolves. Number 0, Ashen Wolves. I've only done the actual DLC route once, because why would you do it again when there's no progression to be gained, but it's definitely worth doing the first time for the rewards you get, like the Chalice of Beginnings equipment letting you counterattack from any distance, plus the little supply drop of free stat boosting items you get at the start of each of your new main runs that went along with the DLC being added. Specifically the +2 movement shoes when lots of classes lack movement in this game. As far as the characters go, Balthus is more or less a Raphael clone, albeit less annoying, but it even sounds like they're voiced by the same person. If you're the king of grappling, how about you grapple with the fact that you're pointless? Yuri is better. He's got the best speed growth in the game at base 65%. In fact, the only other playable character with a stat growth as high as Yuri's speed is Raphael's HP. Yuri's cool, not a bad character, but there's usually no room for him on my team when I'm always recruiting Constance. Constance is technically the worst character in the entire game, which is very rude. Like, why did you do that, Nintendo? She's tied with Lysithea for the best magic gains, but everything else sucks. It's not close either. She's the worst by a substantial margin, but I love her as a character. Her split personality reminds me of Noir from Awakening, but like they went in a complete opposite direction. Happy is also a cool character, and I like that she has some more strength to be a mixed attacker like a Dark Knight, although her defense doesn't support that at all. But she definitely appeals to apathetic people with her whatever personality. Her character quirk is weird as hell. Imagine not being able to sigh or else you'll summon giant monsters to attack everyone nearby. Whenever I think about that, I get a very unsuppressible urge to sigh very heavily. I don't know how she does it. I sigh literally all the time without even thinking. The entire state of Washington would be in ruins if that were me. Still, the Ashen Wolves was worthy DLC. I can't believe nothing else has come out since, unless they're just hard at work on the next game and leaving this one in the dust now, which would be a shame because Three Houses has so many more possibilities. I don't need new characters, but new classes and locations and paralogs would be killer. Now starting from worst and working our way to best. Number 3, Black Eagles. I was on the Black Eagles train in the weeks before the game came out, and they were doing all those trailers introducing the houses like, which house will you pick? And I was like, ooh, hella Black Eagles. So the Black Eagles were my first run, and since I don't know if you even can support the Empire on the first playthrough, or I just somehow missed the opportunity, I got stuck having Edelgard and Hubert leave and lost all the training I had put in them. I personally think the Black Eagles route where you fight against Edelgard is the worst route in the game. Like, just do Blue Lions or Golden Deer at that point. If you pick the Black Eagles, pick the Black Eagles. You know what I'm saying? Carry the Empire to victory and commit blasphemy every step of the way, murder literal saints and Jessica Christ herself, and dye your green hair back to blue. The Black Eagles are third because not only is its most accessible route the worst one, even though I don't mind the other one because it carries its own kind of forbidden excitement, plus it's like 6 chapters shorter and you don't have to do that Slither in the Dark mission I'm sick of, so it's a good route for a quick run. But it's also the house with the least amount of students I like. Ferdinand is boring, Hubert's a creep, Dorothea is depressed, and Linhart's asleep. Also, I thought it was Lindhart for the longest time, but it's actually Linhart. Your name is a dick for no reason. Lindhart is way more digestible. Please change it when you wake up. Chiaki did it better. You're not endearing to me. Dorothea starts off as a cute little flirt, which is why she's apparently the most popular character in the game according to her global deployment stats, but if these people played her post-time skip, she turns into a depressed rag. Every time you select her to attack on the battlefield, she's like, more fighting. Yeah, dude, it's a war. If you'd like to lay down your arms and surrender, we won't miss you. I can't stand her. If I do a Black Eagles route, I only use 4 of the characters. Edelgard, because she's the house leader, and I'm always going to go Crimson Flower. Petra, because she's best waifu and also a beast no matter what class you make her. Bernadetta because she's hilarious, and Caspar because I need somebody else. If I don't like a character, I won't use them no matter how good they are. The DLC added the ability to use the Death Knight after you side with the Empire, and he's not bad, but I don't like waiting that long to recruit characters. I want to shape them as if from the time they were born. I want to mold them from clay like the goddess herself, and since she's inside me, I feel like I have the right. Tell your friends not to do the Black Eagles for their first playthrough. They'll resent losing Edelgard and Hubert, and it might turn them off the game entirely. Number 2, Blue Lions. Stay with me, don't jump ahead. The Blue Lions might be the second worst house, but in a land of 3, it's also the second best. Dimitri is the best house leader by a mile in terms of battle prowess, and also the most interesting and versatile from a narrative perspective. Don't get me wrong, those 3 or 4 chapters post-time skip are an absolute drag and ultimately what brings the Blue Lions below the Golden Deer. Not only can you not train Dimitri for months, but Dedu is presumed dead and also unusable for way too long, which is powerful and effective the first time it happens and leading you to believe he's actually dead and therefore pleasantly surprised when he comes back, but when you're on your 4th run of the Blue Lions, it's just annoying mechanically. 2 of your units are untrainable for several chapters, which is a step up from losing them forever like the Black Eagles church route, but still a step down from never having to worry about it at all in the Golden Deer route. Character-wise, the Blue Lions might actually be my favorite. The only person I hate is Ash, because he's the most boring, soft boy, unsure of himself, used to be a thief, scared of ghosts, Ignots, but lamer character in the game. He's the one sour spot. Everyone else is at least decent. I'm a big fan of Annette and Ingrid. I like Mercedes, Dimitri and Felix. Dedu is fine, and Sylvain is fine after you actually learn about him, although he's still kind of ew. Ash is trash, just had to say it again. The final mission of the Blue Lions is the same as the Black Eagles church route, if I'm not mistaken, where you've rescued Rhea, but she goes berserk or whatever and decides to create the biggest slog of an encounter possible. I don't like fighting monsters generally. I especially don't like fighting boss monsters, and I especially don't like fighting boss monsters surrounded by monsters, and especially don't like fighting boss monsters surrounded by monsters who all have anti-magic armor when half my team is always mages. That mission can go to hell. It's okay in the Crimson Flower route, because you know if you're going to side with the Empire, the final boss has to be the Immaculate One, but in the Blue Lions and the church route, it's like, I just rescued this bitch. Why is she gatekeeping the credits right now? The Blue Lions is still a great house, and it probably has the best outcome from a narrative perspective, but if I'm gonna dip my toe back into this game after a long time and want to choose a house fresh, I'd probably first go with Number 1, Golden Deer. Best final mission. Very few monsters, hallelujah. Also, it's really hard even without them because Nemesis is like the most OP thing I ever saw, and the majority of your characters won't survive a single combat with him unless you grinded the hell out of them. I don't like how they do Dimitri dirty in this storyline, though. After the time skip, Claude is like, oh, by the way, Teach, Dimitri is dead. And then he's actually alive at the Battle of Gronder Field, but then afterwards Hilda just comes up like, guys, Dimitri is dead now, like for realsies. And we're like, what? That's lame, and move on. But the Golden Deer still has the most interesting narrative topics about the history of the church and heroes' relics. The Crimson Flower route of the Empire unearths some pretty nifty secrets about the church too, but you kind of have to just believe that Edelgard's telling the truth. Whereas the Golden Deer route seems more grounded in evidence acquisition. It's almost like Schrodinger's cat with the Empire. Like, if you side with them, then all the bad shit about the church is true, but if you don't, then it doesn't exist and is never even alluded to. One discrepancy is that Edelgard says the church lied about the heroes' relics being made by saints or the goddess or whatever and passed down, and that they were made by humans instead, which is true, but in the Golden Deer route, Rhea says the humans who made them were those who slither in the dark, and they were made from the bones and corpses of the children of the goddess. So like, yeah, Rhea lied, but for an understandable purpose, while Edelgard's claim is correct, but also misleading, and that's politics for you. I didn't think I would like Claude, but he's alright. He tries to be funny sometimes, which annoys me, and I thought he'd be more like Sylvain, but thankfully he isn't. Like the Black Eagles, Golden Deer's characters are extremely hit or miss. The ones that hit, but the ones that miss are, oh my god, terrible, with one in between. The misses are Ignots, Raphael, and Lorenz. Lorenz gives off that vibe immediately with his holier-than-thou attitude, and it's like, dude, you have a purple bowl cut and it's not even your real hair because I can see the gray under it. You could have chosen any wig, and you chose that wig, and you think you can make responsible decisions for the common folk? Being a low-key altruist doesn't save him. Every time Claude says anything in the story, Lorenz is like, shut up, Claude, you are unfit to wear human clothes, and I detest every breath you take. And then it just moves on to the next character going, wow, I hope we don't encounter any danger, like nobody's gonna address what the fuck he just said. His dad should be a villain in a DLC. After what happened to Raphael's parents and the rumors that Count Gloucester was behind it, there's a lot of people's parents I'm trying to meet in this game who never show up. Ignatz is just Ash but with a hobby, and Raphael is possibly my least favorite character in the game. I hate his face. His big, dumb face. I hope your little sis dies and you somehow did it by accident and have to feel responsible. I wish it was take your daughter to work day when your parents got slaughtered by wolves. I can't stand when he talks. I used him for one playthrough and said never again. I don't care how good he is. Anyone can be a good war master. Lysithea, Marianne, and Leonie are the good characters, while Hilda irks me but in an overlookable way. I hate whatever the opposite of pretentious is, someone who's actually good but pretends they suck. I have 4 words for Hilda. Pull your damn weight. That's all. You'd be just fine if you pulled your damn weight. All her supports are so infuriating, but I like using her in battle. It just sucks that chicks can't be war masters, which I don't get. I don't get why they can't be dark bishops either, other than the fact that dudes can't be grimoires and they're trying to have equal opportunity exclusion, although dudes still get the shaft overall. They can't be Pegasus Knights or Falcon Knights or Dark Flyers or grimoires or Valkyries. Like, damn, let us have something. The Golden Deer route is the best route for recruiting everyone and grinding skill levels and class masteries because nobody ever disappears, although you could argue that the Blue Lions route lets you recruit Hilda, whereas the Golden Deer can't have Dedue, but Dedue is a one-trick pony anyway, even though he isn't because nobody is, because everyone can be at least decent at everything, but still. Number 1, Blue Lions. Okay, fine, the Blue Lions edge it out. It's hard to decide. Blue Lions has stronger characters, a better storyline, and a more acceptable ending, so it's hard to justify 2 characters being absent for a bit and an annoying final mission undermining all that. Blue Lions win. Broody, schizophrenic eye patch Dimitri gets on my nerves, but Blue Lions win. And that's going to do it for this ranking. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you can like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at Sunburned Albino, and I'll see you guys next time.